What's going on, Chargers fans? Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Will Ortner. On today's show, we're going to go down a trio of stories that all have positive news for our favorite team in LA. First, we're going to be talking about the ESPN tight end rankings. Where did they end up having any, if at all, of the Charger tight ends? Where did Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater get ranked in the ESPN rankings for top offensive tackles? I think it'd be easy for some to say, well, Rashawn Slater shouldn't have gotten ranked, and Joe Alt, maybe he sneaks in. They're going to end up being a lot higher than you think. Let's start with the tight end rankings, because I think when you look at Gadsden in this offense, specifically last year, I think a lot of people realize that there's a truly special young tight end in Los Angeles, and it's not one of the guys wearing the Rams jerseys. Obviously, last year was a smashing success for the former Syracuse Orange tight end. End up having a big kind of coming out year where people realized, hey, maybe the Chargers have something special at that tight end position. And now I think with Mike McDaniel coming in and being the new offensive coordinator, you are going to see not only Gadsden, but the rest of that tight end room get used in a significantly more impactful way, but also, frankly, just a lot more. Hit the thumbs up button if you're excited for Chargers football and all of football to be back soon. That's right. We're going to have preseason games getting underway in 4 weeks? 5 weeks? Don't make fun of me. I have a concussion. But we're hoping that football is going to be better than it ever has been before. Hit the thumbs up button if you can get behind that. So where did the Chargers' young tight end rank in the ESPN rankings? It's also important to realize that with the ESPN rankings, there are voters who are NFL executives, NFL scouts, NFL coaches. And so if you're ranked or you're even mentioned, that's a really good sign. Now, he didn't end up being one of the top 10 players or one of the honorable mentions, but Gadsden did end up falling into the also received votes category. You're going to see some other star tight ends in this list, just like TJ Hockenson, Isaiah Likely, very good player. Dalton Schultz had a down year, but someone who's had a lot of success. Dallas Goedert, he's on the tail end of what I think is going to be his career, but that's still a good spot for him. And then you're also going to see a guy like Hunter Henry. So a very solid crew with a lot of guys that have had success in the National Football League for an extended period of time, except for our guy in Los Angeles. Gadsden showed in just one season what type of tight end he can be. And the fact that there were people that were really excited about him, well, that tells me that this is a really good thing for him. It's rare that you see guys coming out of their rookie year that are ranked highly in any of these rankings. And I understand why. This is NFL executives saying this is who I think is going to be top 10 in this upcoming season. Not who was top 10 in the last season, not who is top 10 previously based on just one season or a multitude, but a lot of different guys. And you don't see rookies typically up that high or guys who are coming off of their first year. Why I like where you have Gadsden in this one, he's still super young, so obviously he can grow as a player, and that would allow him to move up in the rankings. But another reason is it's showing that he is getting recognition. And there are people right now in the National Football League that look at the young tight end in Los Angeles and they say, hey, that can be a major player. Now, I don't think it's fair to immediately go, well, maybe he's the next big tight end. He'll be the biggest tight end for the Chargers since Antonio Gates. I don't know that that is entirely fair to put on his shoulders, but I certainly do think that you're going to have another really talented, really strong, really good tight end in Los Angeles, and I think a lot of the NFL sees that as well. Will Gadsden be viewed as a top 10 tight end this year? Let us know down below in our comment section. Is this a yes or is this a no? Very interested in hearing what your opinion is down on this. I think he's certainly got a chance. I'll be interested to see if he gets there. Next, we are going to talk about where Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt ended up ranking in the ESPN rankings. But before we get into any of that, I need to make sure that I let you know that today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching the sports. With the baseball season in full swing, there's no better time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a Prize Picks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including hits, home runs, strikeouts, and several others across all sports. One thing I love is the new social feeds feature, where you can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can actually follow me on the app, at BigWill7774, to see all of my lineups. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with Prize Picks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. When ESPN went through and ranked their top 10 tackles, I don't think it's unfair for me to say that I was a bit surprised at where Joe Alt fell on this list. Now, I'm not saying that he's not a good tackle. That would be incorrect. Clearly, he's very good at what he does, and he's very highly thought of in the National Football League and those circles about how well he is able to play and how well he has performed as a player. It should not be shocking that Joe Alt is viewed highly. He's played well. But what shocked me is that with all of the games that he ended up missing in 2025, that he was still able to get into the top 10. Look, I'm not saying that an injury should completely take you out of the running for any of these things, but it wouldn't shock me if I saw a lot of NFL executives, a lot of NFL scouts, a lot of NFL coaches that just said, hey, you know what? I like Joe Alt a lot, but I'm not willing to put him in my top 10 because I just don't think that he's quite there. When I look at Joe Alt, I think when he's on the field, he's one of the best tackles in the NFL. But he also missed a lot of time because he was hurt. So let's listen and see what Jeremy Fowler had to say on why Joe Alt was ranked as high as he was. Alt's second NFL season was cut short due to a right ankle injury that required surgery, but through the first 9 games, Justin Herbert had a QBR of 80 with Alt on the field and 56 without him. Alt missed the final 9 games due to the injury, which had taken him out of the 2 previously. Alt's a star. I really do think that. I think he's a star. When you miss that amount of time, and they're still saying that you are one of the best tackles in the National Football League, not one of the best right tackles, not one of the best left tackles, one of the best tackles in all of football, that is a big deal. And when he's out on the field, it's clear how much more success the Chargers have. We need a healthy season from Alt. If he's able to stay healthy, the sky is the limit with this team. Where did Rashawn Slater rank? Because I think this is going to surprise some of you. He came in as one of the players that was mentioned as a ranking offensive tackle. Now, did he get in the top 10? No, clearly not. But he did end up on the honorable mentions list. Him, Charles Cross, Christian Darrisaw, Dion Dawkins, and Paris Johnson Jr. Now, when I look at Rashawn Slater, I don't think it's hyperbolic to say it's a bit surprising that he ended up as someone as one of the honorable mentions. Why? He missed the entire frickin' year. He was hurt. So I did not expect Slater to be viewed as high as he was, but that's a good thing because it shows how much his past success has made a lot of others in the NFL circles realize just how strong of a player he is. Imagine missing an entire year of your job and they still say, yeah, you know, Dan, he's still one of the best comptrollers in the entire company. I have no idea what a comptroller is, full disclosure. But imagine that. Imagine missing an entire year of work and those who rank your job are still saying, yeah, that's one of the best guys to ever do it. When we look at this Chargers offensive line depth chart, look, as much as I do think there is improvement on the interior of the offensive line, this team is going to be bookended by the tackles. If Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt are able to play as well as they possibly can, if they are able to stay healthy, this team will go very far. If they do not, this team will have a clear ceiling. They have to find a way to stay healthy. If they are unable to stay healthy, that is going to be something that doesn't go well for this team. Because when they are healthy, this guy plays well. When they are healthy, you get the best out of guys like Justin Herbert because he is a talented enough quarterback to take this team to the promised lands. He is a talented enough quarterback to make sure that this team wins. And doesn't just win this year, doesn't just win next year, but wins and wins all the time. Who is the most important player on the Los Angeles Chargers? Let us know your opinion down below in our comment section. I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say there. It could be Justin Herbert, Amari Hampton, Derwin James. Let me know. There are going to be some people that pick these two guys. It wouldn't shock me if I saw Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw a couple people that picked both of them as the most important players. I don't disagree with them. If they're able to stay healthy, then you know what? The rest of this offense is going to hum. If they don't stay healthy, I'm not saying that the offense is going to be in a horrific position, but I don't know that it's going to be in a great position either. Hopefully they're able to stay healthy and the Chargers team could finally win one of those elusive playoff games. Hit the thumbs up button if you love the content that we covered on today's channel. And, of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any Los Angeles Chargers news throughout the year of 2026. We are rapidly closing in. That's right, closing in on training camp. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the content that we have here on the channel covering the latest news, rumors, and updates on the LA Chargers. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Can't wait to see you next time. And as always, bolt up.